Hello everyone, I completed my first acrylic painting. I'm very excited and also very happy about it because I never used acrylic or oil paints before. The last time I made a hand-drawn piece of art in my life was back in 2015, and it was a pencil drawing on paper. Now it is 2025, which means 10 years later, and all these years I've been working entirely digitally using Photoshop. And not only that, I've been using my mouse instead of a tablet because I never got used to it. A few years ago, I was working in a film studio and I tried using a tablet, but I didn't feel comfortable with it. Plus, my boss was the same as me. He also used a mouse, so no one frowned upon me, but that's another story. Anyway, I think it's easy for you to assume that I decided to make this change because of the almighty artificial intelligence. You know, I'm very good at digital photo manipulations and I've done some very ambitious and long-term projects. But when I participate in some exhibitions, the question of whether I use artificial intelligence is asked to me very often. At the beginning, I was a real master. I still am of digital techniques, but day after day my skills became irrelevant thanks to the AI. So over time, I came to the difficult decision to step out of my comfort zone and to try a technique that I know absolutely nothing about. I was really anxious and didn't know what to expect. I researched some YouTubers who explain acrylic paints. Also, the guys at the local art store were very helpful. I bought some really high quality Amsterdam acrylics. I'm very pleased with them. Also, some high quality Van Gogh brushes. It's kind of investment that you make in the long run because I wanted to have a professional approach in what I do. The guys at the art store explained to me about the retarders and glazing mediums and so on. I also bought acrylic ink from the store because I need it for very fine details. This is what I'm used to, very realistic photographic images. You can see in the video what kind of artwork I have created digitally, and you can imagine that my goal is to continue with the same type of work, but this time with acrylic paint, and most importantly to be handmade. Also, you can see that I have done some triptychs in a large size, and of course as a beginner I decided to start with a small size just to see how it is with the new medium. Now, this is my very first attempt. Then I did, this is the second attempt. And finally and then I got confident enough to move to the board. Despite the small size, this painting was a very difficult task for me, but I'm really happy with the final result. And despite the small size, I think there is a great variety of challenges in the image itself. This is a pine wood board for orthodox icons from the local art store. When I bought it, it was smooth sanded but completely bare wood, so I used shellac to protect the board from moisture and bending over time, and I applied a thick layer of acrylic gesso to the front and then transferred the design I had made and started painting on it. If I were to be more specific to describe this process step by step, the first thing I did was to apply one coat of shellac to the front before the gesso. I'm not sure if that's the best thing to do. From my research, I learned that if you don't seal the bare wood before the gesso, over the long period of time, the pigments can fade away because the surface can absorb them. I'm not sure. Please, if you have more experience, let me know in the comments below your opinion. That first coat of shellac soaked into the wood. It looked like I hadn't done anything to the surface. And then I applied maybe 5 coats of gesso to the front. I did one coat a day, so I would apply one coat, let it dry, and the next day I would apply the second coat, let it dry, and repeat that 5 times. Then I waited a week for the gesso to dry as much as possible and then sanded it very smooth. I wanted my first attempt to be an old master recreation because I wanted to see brush strokes and replicate them and not work directly from a photograph. I never used acrylic or any type of paint before, so I wanted to see how it would be used by someone else. The image is inspired by Jan Bruegel. Actually, it's a combination of several fragments of his works, because I didn't want to be a direct copy of him. You know, I didn't think about the deep philosophy like I try in my large size triptychs. Here is just a simple idea of some tension between nature and technology, or if you want, no one can outsmart nature, something like that. This is just a small size and a first test of the medium, which I already told you is completely unknown territory for me. So, so I started with the sky because I thought it was the easiest, and then I went down to the distant landscape and the river with those little boats and houses all around it. I think that's the area where I did my best to get as close to Bruegel's imagery as possible. And then I moved to the left and tried to paint the big tree. That was the hardest part for me. I painted once, I didn't like it. I painted second time, I didn't like it again, and on my third time I was like, okay, this might work. And finally I painted the little foxes. It was a lot of fun, although I wanted to do my best because the foxes are the main character in the scene. I used a magnifying glass while painting them, and here I took a picture of them up to my fingers so you can see the scale of the image and how tiny small they are Finally, I painted the plants in front of the foxes and carefully looked over the rest of the painting for some areas to retouch, and that was it. Now, as I have experience with photography and digital prints, I know that a glossy surface is best for highly detailed images. So I decided to use a glossy varnish to cover the layer of acrylic paint, and I can say that I'm very happy with the end result. Now, this small painting in my hands is a huge step for me because I always thought it would take me a long time if I want to learn to paint by my hands and not digitally. And my next step is, of course, a large size triptych. I won't say anything about the ideas I have for now, but I will keep you updated in my next videos. Now, this painting is for sale, so if you are interested, don't hesitate to contact me. Also, I have prints on paper from my old digital triptychs, if you want. One of them is available in a large size here in my studio as a limited edition of 4 copies. And if you want, I can create a limited edition copy of the other triptychs as well. So that's it for now. I'm really excited that I start a new chapter in my art career, working with my hands and no more digital. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know your thoughts in the comment below, especially if you have experience with acrylic or even oil. I'm very interested to hear opinion from people who have experience. I will keep you in touch about my next triptych, and I may tell you more about my previous digital works. And see you in my next video. Bye.